First of all, this bike is tiny. So, welcome to this test ride / first impressions video of the Kawasaki Z125. This one looks like it's got a gear indicator as well, which I don't think that is stock. That was first gear. This is a test ride, so I get to borrow this bike for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then I get to say whatever I want about the bike. I do say whatever I want, and whenever it pops into my head, I say it. So this is not a structured like review or something like that. It is it's me and my thoughts of this bike. First of all, it's tiny. The tank is super tiny. It flicks really easily. This is the third 125cc bike I've ever ridden, so keep that in mind. I'm trying to expand my horizons, and you know, you don't need a fast bike to be happy, right? But here in Europe we have what is called an A1 license, which means that when you're 16 you can take the 125cc license, and then you are allowed to drive a 125cc for 2 years, and then you can take the A2 license, which is restricted to 48 horsepower and stuff like that. So this is the test ride part. This one has an exhaust, some, I want to say, Kawasaki power parts, but isn't that KTM steel, the power parts? The clutch is like every other 125cc I've ever ridden. It is it's kind of slow to release and stuff like that, but that might just be the clutch. Let's see. We need to tuck for this one. That's full throttle, by the way, but it is a 125cc. It'll get up to speed eventually, I hope. So, how does it feel? It's tiny. It's very, you sit, if you squeeze your legs together, you're underneath the tank, which means that you can really hang on to this bike. It looks like it tops out at about 95 in the slight uphill. We need to go faster. We definitely do. I like the colors on this bike. It's really nice with the green frame, the black and the white. I dig that, and it looks like it's got some new grips here. Obviously the gear indicator, some fancy brake reservoir thing. It is a bit leaned forward. I am maybe a little bit taller than your average 16-year-old. I'm 185 years I'm 185 years old. I am 185 centimeters, 185 that is. But yeah, I just got off riding the Katana. I have ridden the Ninja 125, if you want to check that out, right here, and I've also ridden the Z400 if you want to see that. I'll leave a link to every one of those in the description, and maybe it popped up in the top right there. So on the highway there isn't really much wind because we're only going 100, but the wind hits me about there's some wind all the way down here, and then there's nothing here, and then it hits me in the top of the head. So I don't know what that is all about, but let's see how fast this baby can go. I really like the blinker. Fourth, third. This one has a lot more sound than the Ninja 125 that I tried. I think there is an exhaust on this one, but maybe the DB killer is out or something, I don't know. Every time I ride a 125cc, I realize that the clutch is it's so slow, and I forget it every time. So I often get this like jump when I release the clutch. There we go. But that might also be because I'm used to an engine that drops in RPM faster. I don't know. It's really easy to flick around. It's like the C400. I was really pleasantly surprised about the C400 on how easy it was to flick around. Now we're in third. It's really nice having a gear indicator. You don't need it, but it is nice to have, and this guy that owns this, or the shop, seems to have installed it. Now I do notice that this grip right here is not properly on there, so my hand tends to go here. Oh, what is this? There's so much stuff on the road today. It's insane. My hand, when I try to twist the throttle, my hand is partially onto the slider, the handlebar slider. So that is a thing. I think that is only because of the grip. Maybe the grips are a bit shorter on this bike, but I think it's purely because of that the grip is not correctly set up. Wait, what? Alright, the gear thing doesn't really know what gear I'm in until I drop the clutch. Oh, it is starting to get cold. That means that it is about to rain, and I can see rain. If there's any water on my lens, that is because it's raining. So I'm sorry about that. Again, on a 125C you have to plan so far ahead because you don't have the power to just accelerate up to 70, you know, at once. Actually, let's do an experiment right here. Alright, so that was 80. Wonder how long that took me. I'm sure I've displayed like the time on the video, but I mean, it's a 125cc, so can't really expect that much, can you? Here again, it says Kawasaki in the dash. Why does it say Kawasaki in the dash? I mean, we know it's a Kawasaki, don't we? Don't we? It's kind of unnecessary, but I mean, alright. You can do whatever you want, Kawasaki. Did I mention that this is a new bike for 2019 as well? They haven't had a why am I trying to teach you about this bike? You probably know about this bike if you've searched up this video. Hold on. Never mind. It is kind of nice though. But since I don't know if I'm taller than your average 16-year-old, but it is kind of a racy position for me. I'm leaned a little bit forward because I am this tall. I can picture that if you're a little bit smaller, that is not the case. I mean, again, it's a 125. I don't mean to be disrespectful or anything for 125cc bikes, because usually the ones that have them aren't old enough to ride bigger cc bikes. But it's just me coming from I daily a 47cc bike, and that is a big difference. I'm gonna let the RSV4 go in front of me here. Almost crashed doing it, but I don't mean to be disrespectful to 125cc. Just know that it's just, for me, this is a very, very small engine. I started on the A2 license myself. I didn't go A1 first, so I never had to deal with a 125cc bike until I decided to ride one. I guess that is everything I had for you on this Z125. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. If you didn't enjoy it, you also know what to do. And I'll catch you in the next test ride. Thanks for watching.